I did the most work on. All right. So we're live, and it's Bob from One Stop Mouse, and look who I have over here, none other than Dawn from the Hitchhiking Bones.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I have been so much looking forward to this. We've bumped into each other at the park when I didn't know who you were, and I invited myself to your birthday party, and that was nice. And when you visited last, and then you've been on the Mickey Bunch a couple of times.
I have.
And I've kind of talked to you in between Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying anything else. And now we get to talk. It's great. It's like, and talk about anticipation. BDF, how are you? I'm not going to call you my. What does Kelly always call BDF? Her
I can't remember. Yeah,
it's her my big best friend BDF. Disinfinity Daniel, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Lori French, the sweet Lori French. How are you?
Hi, Lori. Good to see you.
Katrina, my savior. Where would I be without her? Thank you so much, Katrina, for being here. And Aliens Wears Green Hats is on there. One of my, I think, about some of my favorite names. I like your channel's name very much. Kadani Sean is a crazy good name.
It is. Oh, hey, Super Fluffy Eddie. Super Fluffy Eddie has an awesome name.
And I'm not going to go into the type of names that Taylor from Taylor Made Magic likes. You can ask her about those yourself, because I'm not going to.
I'll do that later, yeah.
Okay, you do that. We'll do that after the fact. Well, this is really, really cool. Hi, Bob at One Stop Mouse, Dawn at Hitchhiking Bones. Thanks, Lori. Lori, you are so sweet. And whenever you send prayers our way, it really touches my heart. And what should my wondering eyes should appear? Talking of Kelly.
There you go.
She's right here. Amazing.
Speaking of Kelly, your ears burning, Kelly.
My ear. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Please check out Kelly's channel, The Mickey Bunch. Always an unexplainable, unbelievable amount of fun. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. We always have fun on
his channel too. Isbell, I just saw on there. Isbell was part of my team when I was still working at Disney. And
great.
She's doing really good now. Hey, Isbell.
That's great.
Her 13-year-old son, like Daniel from Disinfinity, has a channel you should check out too. It's called Orlando Adventures.
Really
cool. I can't believe that these 13-year-old kids just are acing.
I know.
Like they are.
I know, right? What? Yeah. That's the great thing about YouTube, Bob. You know, anybody, that has a message or, information to get out there can do it. It's really an amazing platform.
It really is. It doesn't discriminate.
Nope.
You could be some old bag like me, or you could be a kid just old enough to get on YouTube, and it's a level playing field.
Well, look at what, Nick at Magical News Live just continually impresses me. Nick has just done a phenomenal job of growing his channel and does some great live streams and, his charity events. It's what an amazing young man.
He's, I guess he must have started at about Daniel's age, about 13 or 14. He's 16 now, Nick at Magical News Live. And I can't remember how much he raised on his last charity event for Give Kids the World, but it was some huge amount of money.
Oh, yeah. It was.
I, as a matter of fact, was born in 1962 as well. That is a really good year. So you were born. Now all of a sudden we got dates out here. Lori Jean, you were born in 1979. You're a child. You're a child.
Yeah, you are, Lori. Wow. That's a good thing.
Jean is really good at getting the info out. Check out the Hitchhiking Bones YouTube channel, please. And So, history of your channel. I like to think, and you know, one of the things that I really love about doing this little thing, even though so many people do interviews, personally, I find out stuff that I've never heard before. Like, like I was talking to Disney Dan, and all of a sudden I find out he's a Latin teacher. A Latin teacher. I had never heard that anywhere else before.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's amazing. No, I've never heard that. I didn't know that about Disney. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I
hey,
mean,
Dane.
so
Yeah,
is
I
James
had
here?
no idea. That's amazing.
Oh, it's Steve Turkey Legster, the man, the myth, the man who works at Wendy's.
The Dane, our gobbletastic friend.
So, on that note, tell me how. I think you told me a little bit about it, but not. We were at the table for your birthday, but it was kind of broken up, and we went in directions of cheesy rolls and everything. Tell me how all of this got started, and how it's led you to here. Sorry, I'm lagging a lot here.
Oh, yeah, that's okay, Bob. Well, actually, my husband and I decided in 2019 to make a trip to see some friends who live in LA. We had high school buddies, that we had not seen in a long time, and we decided to go to Disneyland. I told him, we can't go out there without going to Disneyland. Long story short, I thought, I have not been to Disneyland since I was a teenager, and so they've even added California Adventure since I was there. So I thought, I need to find a live stream from the park to kind of help me, figure my way around, so that when we get there, I'll kind of know what I'm doing a little better.
Right.
So I did a search, found the West Coast crew for RTV1, found Britt and Crystal, and watched their live streams, a couple of live streams. So that's how I was introduced to Resort TV One, and I never really watched. I was not really a YouTube watcher at that point. I would look up a video, a how-to video, if I needed to on YouTube. But so it's not really a consumer of YouTube videos at that point. Well, we went to Disneyland, and as luck would have it, we were actually there for the opening week of Galaxy's Edge, which was unbelievable. And of course, Resort TV One was there, and we got to meet Josh and Jetta. And so that was really cool. I had been watching their channel for, a couple of months at that point. So anyway, we did all that, got back, was still kind of, getting to know the community and chat and what have you. Dole Whip Dad, so many of our great YouTubers that are in their chat and mod for them and what have you. And William and I, my middle son, my whole family really enjoys Disney, but William and I are the crazy people. We love Disney. And so at his work and my work, we would have friends and family, ask us all the time, hey, we're going to Disney World. How do we even begin to plan? What do we do? What best practices? Where do we eat? There's a lot that goes into it, planning a Disney World trip for somebody who's never been. So, I just got to thinking, I thought, and I pitched it to William. I said, what if we started a YouTube channel and just talked about, the things that we know about the parks and, helping people, giving them ideas about the parks, giving them information about the app and all the things, that it takes to plan a vacation, that just all of it, just sharing our love of Disney. And I think he kind of thought I was a little bit crazy at first. So, but, William, bless his heart, he said, well, Mom, he said, yeah, and so I posted that first video, and it was the train ride that we took, not train ride, Walt's fire truck, the Main Street vehicles in Disneyland. We rode that from the town square to Sleeping Beauty Castle. And so that was the first little video that I posted. And, it's just kind of grown from there. And we we try really hard, Bob, to provide value with our channel. And, we don't want to waste people's time. If they're going to come, watch our channel, we want to provide some value and make the programming as good as possible. And hopefully over the past year, our channel turned a year in October the 8th, we've gotten a little better at it. So that's kind of how we got started. And we've had such a good time with it. And we've got wonderful people like you. It's been fantastic.
Very cool people. Hi, WG Rhonda Lee. How are you? Welcome to the stream. I remember that part that you were talking about, how you wanted to educate people because it's so hard to plan a Disney trip. And that's how I got into it too. I actually, One Stop Mouse used to be called WDW Epic Vacations. Of course, changing the name of your channel halfway through like a 1.5 to 2 year time, you lose all your traction because nobody knows who you are. Right. But Josh from Resort TV 1 told me that I sounded like we were a travel agency, so it was getting a little confusing because I was getting on the chat and people thought that he was involved with another travel agency they didn't know about.
Right.
And so I thought, okay, I do want to give tips and tricks and stuff, and the way you said that the first time I met you, I was like, oh yeah, we kind of started off in the same sort of way. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people that haven't been to Disney World in several years, and up until COVID, at least, when Magic Bands and My Disney Experience and everything else, they would come back after 7 years. I haven't been here since 2013, and they were shocked. They didn't overwhelmed. They didn't know what to do. I was coming from the same place. Hey, Jeffrey Resendez, how are you? Welcome to the stream. So it's you and you've got 3 kids.
I actually have 3 sons. William is my middle son. I have 3 sons. I'm very proud of all of them. And my eldest son, Stephen, William is my middle son, and my youngest is Adam. So for the channel, William and his wife Jillian, we're kind of the Hitchhiking Bones. We think of it as kind of a family thing, because my granddaughter Kylie likes to help with videos. She's on some of the videos. Bless her heart, she does such a great job. And my husband Jeff helps a lot. He's normally behind the scenes, but really William and Jillian and I are, we really work on the channel more than anybody, and have had just a great time with it. There's so many people out there, Bob, who they may not go to Disney, but once every 5 years, once every 10 years, and so, they don't, like with our community, we stay on top of Disney news, Disney merch. I mean, we know everything daily, about what's going on in the parks. Well, actually everybody doesn't do that. So it's just us crazy Disney people.
I can't believe you're saying that. You're like after my own heart here. No, seriously, I've said that several times in interviews and streams, and I'm like, I hate to break it to you, but we are fanatics, and as soon as I get off of here, I'm going to hear something on WDW News Tonight or something on my phone, and if I talk to my aunt or something like that, all she knows is when she was here last in 2012, and that's where the shock comes in. So much change. And once we get past COVID, forget about it. All the stuff they're building, whatever new systems, they have a new AI sort of a thing that's going to probably replace My Disney Experience called My Disney Genie. So imagine how shocked they're going to be then.
Oh, I know. It changes. There's so many changes, and of course we follow not just the parks, but we follow, hey, Will, there's Will. in the chat. Yeah, I follow Disney stocks. I follow Disney merch, food, new food offerings in the park. I mean, and I know it's hard to believe, but not everybody out there actually does that. So as hard as that is for us to grasp.
It is hard to believe. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Yeah. Well, so I didn't know. I kind of knew. I think Will is the son that I.
And he's in the chat.
Message. Okay. So Will, hey, how are you? You were in the park on that day when I met you, and towards the end of the day, I think it was James Ryan that was trying to get us together. We'd stream each other or something at the end of the day. Yeah. And I was Instagram messaging you, and somebody said, "Oh, I think Mom is," and I'm like, "This isn't her." So.
We both, William and I both moderate. We both take care of the Instagram account. So normally, if it's me, I'll put, I'll sign it Dawn. When I post, I'll say Dawn, and so people kind of know who's answering. But William definitely is my partner in crime.
All right, so let's see. Meg from Mickey's Magic just graduated with a master's in counseling.
Wow.
And she actually, this is the little aside you find out. So she's a counselor, and she likes to separate that part of her life from her Disney YouTube life so much that she actually admitted that when people say, "Oh my gosh, I think I saw you on YouTube," she denies it. She's like,
"Oh, really?"
And Disney Dan's a Latin teacher. Is there, I know there's sort of a line, like somebody asked me for my mailing address today, and I was like, well, my email address is, because I don't have a P.O. box. But is there anything about you guys that you'd like to tell us?
Well, my husband and I grew up in Tennessee. A lot of people make reference to my accent a lot. My accent's kind of a Tennessee-Texas hybrid. Right. We live in Texas now, raised our boys in Texas. And, we have just been really blessed. My husband and I were high school sweethearts. And we've been really blessed. We have grandchildren, our kids are doing great. And we've been really blessed, Bob, and we've been, when Jeff and I, of course, when we first got married, we were like most people, and we were, broke as Job's turkey. And so it was a few years before we were able.
You were as broke as what? Say that again. I know that's I grew up in the mountains of North Georgia. And I spent a lot of time in the Smokies, and actually I lived in Maryville, near Knoxville. In Tennessee. So I've heard a lot of stuff like dumb as and everything, but as broke as what? Say that again.
As broke as Job's turkey.
As broke as
Job's turkey. Job in the Bible, I guess.
Yes. I didn't know we had a turkey. I didn't know there were biblically there were turkeys running around Syria. It's like
that's apparently pretty broke. So
apparently so. Yeah. Don't look for a traditional turkey dinner in the sand.
Right.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no worries.
I love that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to.
Well, and of course, being from Tennessee, we have, oh my gosh, my family is just full of those, those sayings and, euphemisms and stuff. And sometimes you think, okay, why did, I've asked my sister for some, why does Mother always say this? Where did this saying come from? And she said, I have no idea. It's a family saying.
When I first moved to the mountains, I didn't understand. It's like they have to take, if they feel like insulting you, sort of, or they don't like something you do, they round off the edge and put a sugar layer on it with that saying, oh, poor Bob. He's
bless your heart.
Bless his heart. He's just as stupid as a piece of fried bologna, or I don't know. just insert here. So,
Right.
and it took me a few weeks to think, what are they saying?
It is, and I am a very proud Appalachian. I am Appalachian. I was born on a mountain, and so and Tennessee. If you have done any travel in Tennessee, you know how gorgeous a state it is. My home state is just absolutely beautiful, and it's worth your time, for travel. So I highly recommend it. But if we had to, if we moved out to Texas for a job, and so, if we had to leave Tennessee, Texas has been really good to us, and Texans and Tennesseans have a lot in common. So it wasn't a whole lot of culture shock for us, when we moved out here. Yeah, they do. Well, think of the Alamo connection.
That's true.
With Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we love Texas. We love Tennessee, and Tennessee will always be our home. But we've been out here. Oh my goodness, I won't say how many years we've lived in Texas. So we love it. We really do. Oh, hey, Candy Mom.
Candy Mom is here. Stop everything. We can start the party.
Good to see you.
Oh, Candy Mom, you're just as, I can't even say it. It wouldn't sound right coming out of my mouth. It would sound terrible. I'd be like, what did he say?
Oh, man.
Hold on a second. Yes, go ahead. What?
Oh, well, I was just going to say, I kind of finished that thought. I feel like I was chasing a rabbit
Sorry
there.
about that.
After we, had kids and, our boys got a little older, I had always loved Disney. The first time I ever went to a Disney park, it was Disneyland in California. And I was 12, about 12, 13, something like that. And I was hooked after that first trip to Disneyland, even though I didn't go again, for a number of years. I was just hooked by the magic. I have always been fascinated with the Haunted Mansion. I remember just being mesmerized by Disneyland, and Kelly, of course, knows exactly what I'm talking about. That magic really grabbed me as a child and never left me. And so when Jeff and I, got older, and we, after we married and had kids and were then able to start taking vacations, family vacations, then we were able to take our kids to Disney World. We kind of consider Disney World our home parks because living in Tennessee, Disney World is a little closer. And so that's, we wanted to pass along that love for Disney to our kids. And all of our kids love Disney, but William is really the one who loves it as much as I do. And so here we are.
So here we are. You and William.
That's it. And our daughter-in-law. He married Jillian, and they met her in college and married her in college. And so she loves Disney as much as we do. So we're just really enjoying the channel, Bob. And the one thing, the thing that we didn't expect, and maybe you can speak to this personally, is this great community. Our Disney community is fantastic, and we, all these people in the chat that we didn't know, a year and a half ago. We think of you guys as family and very dear friends, and that's kind of something that I wasn't expecting. That's such a blessing, and I know William feels the same way about it.
I started off my channel not being into the community all that much. So, you always start these things and you get the wrong idea. But because I hadn't been, like a lot of people are involved in other channels first, or they'll be involved in chats a lot, and you'll see Hitchhiking Bones for a long time before there's a channel, and I didn't really do that. I started a channel, changed the name, moved. My life sort of got moved around, worked for Disney and was totally into that. And then I got furloughed several months ago, and I decided I was going to put time into it because I actually had time on my hands.
Right.
And then Walt from Mass Talk basically clued me in, and he was like, you got to start talking to it's all about the community. You got to start talking to the community, meeting people and everything. And on that note, I basically decided that I started doing these things, and now I know Dawn.
There you go.
Now I know this person, and I started seeing the magic of the community really, really quick. When Pete McDevitt thinks that he could be comfortable enough to call me at 12:30 at night, it's like he's my brother or something. And I'm cool with that. I think that's a crack up. For me to say at a table in Skipper's Canteen, Hitchhiking Bones, and it's like we're having a reunion, and you're a cousin of mine that I haven't seen since I was 9 years old.
It totally is. Yeah. Is this just, is that just weird, Bob? Is that just the greatest thing in the world? That we had never.
Weird if you're not us, because you don't understand it.
Exactly.
It was weird,
but it's normal for us. Yeah. It's the norm. I mean, for us to sit, for Kelly, and again, thank you so much, Kelly, for organizing that and bringing these great people and introducing me to my birthday lunch at Skipper Canteen. When Kelly said, "Oh, Bob with One Stop Mouse and Adventures with VP, and Taylor are all coming." Well, I knew you guys already. We just had not met in person. So it's just amazing to me, and I love it. I love that. We were able to meet, our great mod, Mike Wheeler, Dean the Turkey Legster, if you're still in the chat, James Ryan, so many great YouTubers. We met up with Russ, with What in the World with Russ, took me on a tour one day. We had brunch over at Trattoria Al Forno on the boardwalk. Right. And then we did a Skyliner crawl. We just rode the Skyliner and explored all those resorts the whole day. I mean, it was, so this community, Lori, I remember you telling me you guys live in Texas. Yeah, fellow Texan there. This community just is fantastic. It just means so much to me and William, and we just love you guys. It's fantastic. It's great.
Let me do something that I don't do enough of. I'm just going to say hi to people in the stream. Hey,
hi, Danny.
Family Vacay. How are you? Sweet Lori French. Krista Knoxville. Hey, BDF. Let's see who else is in here. A few people came in. VP, Adventures with VP. I saw you. Disinfinity. Hey. Kelly with the Mickey Bunch. These are all great channels. Please check them out. And Candy Mom doesn't have a channel yet, but she has a really great little Candy Mom logo. I think she has ideas. I think she does. I think she wants to stream the ground at all the parks. I'm going to have some tough competition. So.
Gonna give her a run for her money, Bob.
I know. No, the thing about the community is it's hard to believe. Somebody actually said the other day, they're like, is that for real? I don't get it. I mean, aren't you guys kind of in competition? And I'm like, not really. I mean, not right. I'm not monetized right now, for one thing. So what am I competing for? Yes. You know what I mean? I unless I'm like the Tim tracker and I've got huge numbers or something. And even if you are, by that time you've found your own voice. And
that's true.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what those other people are doing. You found your own voice. You have an audience, and you just keep doing it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway,
it's really difficult. It is hard to explain to like my sister Joy is usually in our chats. She, bless her heart, she is such a huge supporter of our channel. And so she has followed us enough that she knows, most of the people that come into our chat, and she kind of gets it. She's kind of watched those relationships evolve, as people have come into our chat and what have you. But it's really, for people who may not be big YouTube consumers, it's really kind of hard to, they kind of think you're strange. I think just so you have this YouTube family. So but it's great. I totally love it. We totally love it. And, like with the competition thing that you were saying, Bob, well, we're not exactly in competition with each other. No. Because people who go to your channel go, well, you all do Disney content. So how is the Disney, that Disney niche not saturated? It's not saturated because I don't do content the way Bob does content. Bob doesn't see the parks the way I see them. No. I don't see the parks the way Russ at What in the World with Russ or Danny at Griswold Family Vacay, or we all have our own take. We all create unique content. And so, to say that the Disney YouTube niche, if you will, is saturated I totally disagree.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. I don't think it's saturated. These are people. I love this community. Everybody's awesome. Thanks, Kadani. It's what people outside of this. I try to listen to that. Like what my cousin says, that kind of thing. So their perceptions of the whole thing is very, very interesting.
It is.
Someone the other day outside of our community said that they sensed that our community on YouTube, the Disney YouTube community, is different. That we seem to be more of a family, more tight, more. And I was talking to VP brought that up, I think, the other day when I was at Epcot with I think it was him. Could have been Gonzo, but somebody brought that up, and I thought, I'm one of those people when you hear something from a few different people, like 2 or 3 times, you start going,
Right.
And I think we do have something really special. We're not just YouTubers. We're this special group of YouTubers. Nobody does it the way Bob does. I've never seen anybody else live stream that. Thank you so much, Katrina.
Well, and you know what, Bob, Katrina, even the ground at Disney is magical. So
it really is.
Somebody.
I mean, the last time I did that, it was bioluminescent ground, like you were talking about earlier today over at Pandora. So
there you go.
I might have been trying to give you some insight there. You never know. He is an amazing guy with it. The community is not saturated. I don't know anyone else who loves the turkey legs like I see. We have ground specialists. We have dark meat turkey specialists. We have what is this for?
We have counselors. We have Latin teachers.
What is that? This infinity? You're just like, no words. I'm just. Is this like new sign language for you? Oh my gosh. Oh, Lord. All right, so if I had one of those people outside of the Disney community that doesn't get this at all, and you were just talking to him or her about your channel, what would you say? What's the overview of your channel like? What do you guys do? And I mean, you just started saying it, but what are your intentions? What do you do? And you fill it in.
Okay, well, if I was talking, and I do talk pretty regularly, to people who have never come to our channel. I would say we specialize or try to specialize in obviously Disney content, but we really. Oh, thanks, Lori. Appreciate that. We really try to focus on, Dole Whip Dad was saying the other night, you need to create for people you've never met yet. And I think that's true in that you need to create for people who will see your channel and want to come to it for your content, because it adds value. It answers questions for them. It entertains them. It intrigues them in some way. And so I would say, we try to give useful information about the parks, and that includes pretty much anything from news, merchandise, food, park experiences, what to do in the parks, how to plan a vacation, how to, use the resources that Disney gives us to plan the vacation, like the app and some things like that. There are just so many pieces to it, Bob, and that's pretty much what we try to hit a little of all of it. I think that after we're kind of, William and Jillian and I are currently kind of looking at it to say, okay, in January, we have things that we want to kind of zero in on a little bit more, and maybe, focus on, you need to kind of evaluate your content every now and then and see, okay, is this accomplishing what we want it to accomplish? And is it, serving our viewers, that kind of thing. So we're thinking about it, and, but it's always going to be, regardless of the direction that we go, it's always going to be focused on Disney content and helping people who just have questions about Disney, or who are planning a trip, or who just enjoy, talking about Disney and keeping up with Disney news, to be able to come in and, have their questions answered. And we just love it. Again, we are kind of the crazy Disney people in our family. So, so that's what we're doing. We're just trying to share Disney with people, and
Cool.
Anybody who, has questions, or, sometimes we get questions. We still get questions, like at work, and, friends, and what have you. And we always try to help people. We generally have more information for planning trips than they want. It's like, oh, you try not to overwhelm people, but there's a lot to it. There's a lot to plan a Disney vacation.
Oh gosh. So you guys have been getting some nice recognition lately. You were just on Dole Whip Dad's 25 Days of Creators, right? I think we're the very last one. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. You're very well spoken. I admire you, actually. I'm actually trying to take one of those speech course things, Toastmasters, because when I watched replays of myself, I notice I say about 40 times in every stream. And you sort of take your time, and you're right to the point, and you're very, thank you. I like that very much. And you did the same thing with your little piece that you had with Dole Whip Dad. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you also got a Pixar recognition from David too. And so within 2 weeks' time, you got these two great recognitions. Congratulations. Very good.
Thank you. And we, it's so gratifying and most of all encouraging to us, that we're being recognized by, Pete and some of these great YouTubers that help him plan that, the Pixar awards and the different, they've done the Muppets and the Pixar, and I think Star Wars is next. But yeah, just to have people, like you said, just to have Pete call you, and say, hey, Dawn, I'm planning this. Could you do this for me? Could you get this to me, or whatever? The first time Pete reached out to me and said, hey, I want to talk to you. We're actually supposed to be on Chilling with Pete on December the 16th. So the Wednesday night show.
Right.
The Wednesday night show.
I was talking to Dawn this morning on the Mickey Bunch, and I'm like, I am not going to ask you about toilet paper or any other weird questions. So just relax.
Oh gosh! And for those of you that know Pete, you know what we're talking about. But he called, and asked, and that was the first time he had reached out to us. And bless his heart, Pete is phenomenal, and And I was so thrilled, I was kind of geeking out a little bit. Oh, Pete McDevitt called, he wants us to be on, he wants us to chill with Pete. So we are so encouraged, Bob, by, our fantastic ghost hosts. We call our moderators ghost hosts. Are so, they keep us going. They encourage us and everybody, in the community. So, and that's what we do. We're cheerleaders for each other. And so so we've really had a lot of encouragement, and it's great to be, to be recognized and just to, get an attaboy.
So, yeah. I guess I was so excited for you.
Well,
that's great.
Well, now you were nominated as well, weren't you, Bob?
I was. Excuse me 1 second. Hang on. All right, come on. Go get him. Go get him, boys. Go get him.
Okay, guys. So I think Bob is having dog.
Sorry, Don.
Difficulties there.
Stop.
Life happens.
Okay, you got it. We have a black bear that's been roaming around in our area, which a lot of people don't realize. When I lived up in the mountains, we had these special things that the garbage had to go in and everything. They keep it away from bears, and you probably know exactly what I mean. But
Sure.
They have more bear problems in some areas of the Orlando area than they do up in the mountains.
Is that crazy?
It really is. I'm trying to get my camera to focus. I'm not talking to myself. Focus.
There you go. I think you got it.
So whenever that bear comes around and knocks over a trash can or something, they know exactly what it is.
Oh yeah.
Either that or it's the Amazon guy. So I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Where did those bears in Florida come from, Bob? They had to have been like imported, right, from other states, or
no?
No?
Well, where we live, just to the southwest of the park, and I can actually see Magic Kingdom fireworks over trees in my backyard.
Oh, stop it!
Not now, I can't. Not now, I can't. But so we're pretty close. I saw a documentary on one of the news channels just recently, and they're building just miles and miles and miles of condos and houses on all of this land, knocking everything down. And up until only like 4 years ago, most of that was pine forest and orange groves.
What?
So these poor bears don't have any. They supposedly have a 10-mile range, and now they have nothing. And they don't go to every part of their range all the time. So 2 years ago, one of these bears was, it's some subdivision and it was woods, and now it's a mailbox.
Oh, I see.
Imagine how confused they are.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them.
Yeah. I see.
Very strange.
Yeah.
So they
Really?
have lots of reports of people with their garbage in their garage, with the door open, and then some lady goes out to put the garbage in the can, and she's screaming. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So what is your programming schedule kind of like? So if I'm an uninitiated Hitchhiking Bones person, when would I be watching for and expecting different shows?
Okay, on our Hitchhiker chat is Tuesday nights at 9:00 Central, 10:00 Eastern. So that we've been doing that for over a year, and again, it's on at Tuesday nights at 9:00 Central, 10:00 Eastern, and William and I. And Jillian's kind of had, life happen and things going on, so she's not able to join us as much as she used to. But we're always there. And then William and I, when we decided before season 2 of The Mandalorian started, we backed up and caught season 1 and did a show. It's called Mandomania, and it is on Thursdays at 12 Central, lunchtime. And 1 p.m. Eastern. So, and we review and talk about each episode of The Mandalorian as it plays out, and then after the Mandalorian season ends, we'll probably keep doing some stuff with that, maybe some other Star Wars stuff. But so we have the 2 regular streams per week now.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So,
I love it.
I'm so excited about The Mandalorian. I listen. My problem is I'm subscribed to every YouTube channel that does all the theories. And so, they're beeping and beeping and beeping and buzzing. And, there's so many fan theories and leaks. Ahsoka Tano showing up was like, I knew that like 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew that. And Ahsoka Tano, have you watched the Clone Wars, the animated series?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's really interesting to me, and I've talked with William about this a good bit, that this character, who is actually in an animated series, is one of my favorite characters now.
Yeah.
I knew too, Bob. I knew she was coming. I also knew that Bo-Katan was going to be there. So I knew that she was coming at the time. So, golly, but what? No spoilers, because I know there are probably a few people in the chat who may not have watched the last few, but oh my gracious, it's just been amazing. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are killing it with this series.
Yeah, they really are.
Killing it. I love it. Love it.
Well, it's really interesting that so Jon Favreau, he's the creator of the project, right? He gets together, he gets this little band of directors. Filoni is like the super geek expert with the cowboy hat on that knows. He literally knows.
Hello,
Texan. It's like this coffee cup. No, it doesn't fit. He knows every little thing that's right or wrong and how everything would fit in. And it's interesting because I was listening to something from him the other day. He said, I really didn't know how this was going to go. But when I met George Lucas like a decade ago, one time when he hired me to do the Clone Wars and do that animation, he literally just said, okay, this is how we're going to do it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm busy. I'm going to be selling this. I'm going to raise my kids. Then all of a sudden we start doing this show. Mostly on a set, mostly virtual. How is this going to go? Not the biggest budget, but all of a sudden I start noticing there's a guy with a flannel shirt on, leaning against the back wall in the dark, not saying anything, and he's showing up every single day. And he goes, and I said to somebody, that craft services guy, that caterer guy, he looks just like George Lucas. And the guy's he is George. And because he hadn't seen him in so long. And so he started figuring, if George Lucas didn't want to interrupt his schedule and sold his company, but he thinks there's something so special here that he's coming every day and hanging out and not saying anything. But if you want his advice, you can ask for it and he'll tell you what he thinks. And that's when Filoni said that he knew. He was like, something's happening here.
This is special. This is special.
Filoni
is responsible for the Clone Wars and also for Rebels, which I'm not yet finished with. It's another animated series. I'm still working my way through Rebels, but if anybody in the chat that has not watched the Clone Wars, I cannot recommend it highly enough. The animation is incredible. The script is incredible. The characters is wonderful. Even the costuming. I mean, how could you say that costuming for an animated feature is wonderful? Just trust me, it is. So you'll love it. And the thing about the Clone Wars, it gives us so much. It fills in so many gaps there, Bob. Information that we didn't know before. It's great stuff. Great stuff.
Even though people were all over Disney about how they didn't like the new movies and everything. I've always thought, with my experience with them, either working with them or being a big fan or whatever, they really think things out. and they do a lot of research, and sometimes it doesn't always work. They were trying a new storyline at Galaxy's Edge, and that's what they got hammered for, but that's what their intention was.
Right.
But I swear, I have this feeling, just think about it. Okay, no spoiler, but there's going to be a rescue going on. And they're going to be going into a situation that coincidentally is kind of like Han Solo and Skywalker in A New Hope, going for a rescue. It seems like it's going all the way back around again. Yeah. And I bet you any amount of money that they are going to drag all of those naysayers from Galaxy's Edge and from the films, and they're going to grab them all the way back in again. And they're gonna hit it out of the park. I really think that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all, Bob. And granted, I am a Disney apologist where I can be. I don't approve of everything Disney does, but I love Disney. So, taking that into account, I have never been as critical of Galaxy's Edge as some Star Wars fans are. And the reason for that is because, first of all, I feel like a lot of people who initially criticized Galaxy's Edge had never even been to the park itself. But I'll tell you, Bob, and you know this, when you are in Galaxy's Edge, and this happened when we went in the very first time into Disneyland, and when the park was 3 days old, you can forget that you're in a Disney park. I mean, that's how, and I know the buzzword is immersive, but it's a good description. It is so immersive that you can really get into your own Star Wars story in Galaxy's Edge. The theming, guys, is fantastic. It is, you are totally immersed in the Star Wars universe. They have left no detail undone. And then when they open, think about when they open the new hotel there in Disney World. Oh my gosh. So I love Galaxy's Edge. I thought from the beginning that they did a fantastic, even down to the soundscape. When you walk in there, when we live stream and we walk into that part of the park, I always tell anybody who's in our chat, I'm going to be quiet as we walk into Galaxy's Edge, because I want people to hear the soundscape. You can hear ships going over, you can hear critters, it's amazing. I mean, they right down to the noises in that land, Bob. They thought of everything.
I experienced it at Disneyland first, when everybody was going over there and trying to, and those naysayers who didn't like the films, they were all over it. Oh my God, there's nobody in Disneyland. And I'm like, this is different here. They're all locals and they're blocking out annual pass holders. Well, how do you expect them to get in? That whole thing. Yeah. But I did a video that's on the channel here called, it's from a year and a half ago or whatever, defending Galaxy's Edge. I couldn't believe that I had to be Galaxy's Edge attorney. I need to find that one. Definitely. Oh my gosh. So anyway, this is how I do these interviews. I lose track and then I just follow the yellow brick road, which is my green screens. There you go. So we know where you've been. We know what you eat at Skipper's Canteen. We know we've got a commonality that we wanted to get into this to basically help people plan and understand what's going on, which the whole rug got pulled out from under that once COVID happened. And now you've got a whole system. And then it'll be a whole other system once vaccines and everything are out. And in 6 months' time, who knows what could be going on. Oh, yeah. So I kind of feel like it's job security, right? I was going to say, we have a lot of videos in store. You remember what we've been telling you for all those videos that have been up on our channel for the last year? Never mind. This is all new stuff. I have to tell you, when the parks were when they just opened, and then things were changing around back and forth when, what was that, July, beginning of July?
Yes.
I had a bunch of vlogs, like, like 4, 5, that I was editing and then was about to release. And then it was like, oh, they're no good anymore because everything just changed.
Exactly.
And then I'd put it on the shelf and then I'd re-edit it. And finally, one of them, which was all about Disney World tours, which I mentioned this morning on Kelly's thing, what I used to book. Finally, they pulled the plug and they weren't doing any of the VIP tours. So I was like, all right, the heck with it. I just call it RIP Disney World Tours. And I'll just say, okay, these are the tours that they used to have. I don't know when they're coming back, but I edited this thing. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Or I have, sometimes, I mean, I've got videos on my channel that I left up there, but I go back in the description and say, since this video went live, this has happened,
Disclaimers.
It's like a disclaimer on the video. Yeah. So, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. All right. So within what we know, and man, could you imagine if I asked you this question a year ago? I mean, who would imagine this would happen in our lifetime? But within what we know, if things are back to normal, whatever the heck that is now, and what you're doing with your channel, what do you think you'll be doing with your channel, for Vlogmas or just before Christmas next year?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Hi, Brian.
Now, William and Jillian and I did talk about doing Vlogmas this year, but we did just before, William and Jillian went to Disney in September. And then, of course, I just returned a couple of weeks ago from my birthday trip. Before we went, William and I both counted down those trips with an advent calendar. Right. And so that's a video a day. That's, right. That was 24 videos for him, 24 for me. And so, for Vlogmas, we were looking at it saying, okay, neither one of us thought that we wanted to do a video a day. So we decided to go ahead and take a lot of the content that we got on our trips, so much of it is Christmas content, and just put up those videos instead of trying to commit to Vlogmas. Next year, I would love to do Vlogmas, and we're already talking about ideas for that. So I think we probably will do it next year. I think the key ingredient there is going to be planning ahead and getting those videos done ahead of time and then just scheduling them to drop. I think that's because December's crazy, Bob. I mean,
I can talk to that. I mean, this is nuts. I finished the vlog that's going to drop in 3 minutes, 3 minutes before I started talking to you. And I'm like, a lot of people told me not to do this. I think they were smart.
Well, Jeff Bates, Adult Whip Dad, has a lot to say about a video a day. So, and we did it. William did a video a day. He did that Marvel 80-year anniversary Funko Pops. And it was like, you pulled 24 Funko Pops. And then for for our trip just a couple of weeks ago, I did the Lego Star Wars Advent calendar. And so it was so much fun, and I really enjoyed it. But again, we decided not to do Vlogmas this year, but we do have some Christmas content up on the channel. And hey, Tina, always watching. I know.
Watching.
We love it. You're always watching, Tina. But we'll probably do it next year. And I think, again, we've got some good stuff coming, Bob, some good ideas. You're going to see on our channel, you're going to see a lot more Haunted Mansion content. Let's just put it that way. You're going to see a lot more content having to do with the Haunted Mansion. Well, we're the Hitchhiking Bones. So, that's what we're looking to. And just to continue to grow and get better at editing, better at our content. We're always wanting to move forward, as Walt said, keep moving forward. So that's what we want to do, but we want to get better as we move forward.
Well, I want to thank you so much. I could probably talk to you for 3 more hours, but my Vlogmas thing is about to drop in a minute, so I probably shouldn't overlap myself as it is.
Right.
And I'll see you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. I'll probably see you on the Mickey Bunch.
You will.
And we can make fun of Kelly together.
You will.
All right.
And Bob, you need to come on our stream too. So
I will. Just invite me. I would love to come to see you guys. That'd be terrific.
Yeah, we'd love it. So.
All right. Well, anything else you'd like to say to the folks before we get off?
I can't think of a thing. We appreciate you guys so much, for being in the chat and watching, and come check out our channel, the Hitchhiking Bones. There's always room for one more.
Nice. All right, guys. Please check out my 3rd day of Vlogmas, which is premiering right now. As soon as I get off of here, you can see that. And I will be doing another one of these interviews on Wednesday. I'll be doing an interview with Dizar Dream, and then Thursday with Cinder Alley Loves Disney.
Yay.
Come back and see us. We'll see you real soon. Why? Because we like you. Bye-bye. Happy Vlogmas.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you very much. I will talk to you soon.